All right, Cowboys Nation, buckle up because we need to talk about some news that could actually shake things up for America's team. The season so far has been rough, no sugarcoating it. The defense has been underwhelming, inconsistent at best, and let's be honest, it's been a source of frustration for everyone watching week after week. But there's a glimmer of hope, and it comes from some chatter that's been stirring behind the scenes. Ricky Scoops has popped his head up again, and the word on the street is that the Cowboys, along with the 49ers, are expected to add defensive linemen before the trade deadline hits. And yes, the deadline is just a few days away, which means the clock is ticking for this team to make a move that could genuinely improve their defensive line. This isn't about turning the unit into an elite squad overnight, but it is about eliminating excuses and giving the team a chance to see what their defensive coordinator can really do when he has the tools he needs. Let's not pretend this is a minor thing. Adding a defensive lineman isn't just about filling a spot on the roster. It's about impact, about giving the coach a legitimate shot to show whether his scheme can function when players are capable and healthy. The Cowboys have had a lot of turnover, injuries have stacked up, and it's hard to get a true evaluation of a defensive system when the pieces aren't in place. Imagine if the majority of the injured guys come back healthy after the bye week for that big game against the Raiders. That's a defensive squad at full strength for the first time in months. And if you then add a supplemental player or two, someone who can immediately step in and contribute, you start to see whether the system can actually produce results. It's not about making a splashy trade with first-round picks unless the player is a game changer. It's about smart moves to fill gaps and give the team a chance to prove itself. The defensive line is one of the easier positions to upgrade mid-season because the responsibilities are more defined. You show up, know your assignment, and execute. It's simpler than inserting a quarterback into a complex offense mid-season. The key here is timing and strategy. If you get a few veterans or a solid player like Quinnen Williams, someone who can instantly affect the defensive front, the coordinator can finally work with what he's got. He can showcase whether his plan works when he's not hampered by limited talent or depth. Right now, there's a lot of frustration because fans and analysts alike are questioning the scheme, the coordinator, and even the long-term direction of the defense. But it's not fair to pass judgment when the team hasn't been equipped to execute. A move like this, along with the return of key injured players, would remove excuses and allow a clearer picture to emerge. It's about accountability on the field, not just criticism from the stands. And yes, while making the playoffs doesn't guarantee a Super Bowl or a deep postseason run, the value is in building a foundation, in assessing your coach with a fully functional unit. You can't evaluate if a defensive coordinator is competent if he's missing half of his front seven. The Cowboys have a 4-year plan, a vision to compete at the highest level, and wasting time with an incomplete roster only delays that evaluation. The focus shouldn't be on excuses. It should be on giving every coach, player, and unit a fair chance to succeed. At the same time, there's a conversation that needs to happen among fans. Too often, frustration spills over into unnecessary criticism, targeting ownership, the front office, or even the broader organization in ways that miss the point. Criticism should be constructive, focused on the team, the performance, and the strategy. Too often, Cowboys fans get caught up in narratives that don't help anyone. Comparing this team to another franchise, nitpicking every comment from ownership, or creating drama where there is none distracts from what actually matters. Watching the team improve, analyzing the plays, and understanding the moves being made to address weaknesses. The team isn't just Jerry Jones or the front office. It's the players, the coaches, and the staff on the field trying to execute a game plan every Sunday. Shifting the conversation back to performance and strategy, instead of drama and headlines, is essential for true fans. It's also worth mentioning that loving this team doesn't have to be conditional on winning championships. Some fans get caught in the trap of defining loyalty solely by rings. But the truth is, being a Cowboys fan is about more than the scoreboard. It's about the passion for the game, the connection to the team, and the highs and lows that come with every season. You can analyze plays, critique decisions, and still be a fan, without letting every loss or misstep turn into an exercise in blame. Watching the Cowboys is about football, about understanding schemes, seeing talent develop, and enjoying the process of the sport, not just counting trophies. So yes, when it comes to potential trades, adding depth to the defensive line, or bringing back healthy players. All of that matters. These moves are not just transactions. They are part of building a team that can finally operate at its potential. Quinnen Williams, for example, isn't just a name. It's a player who can fill a role, make immediate impact, and provide flexibility in defensive schemes. Pairing him with Clark, OSA, and others allows for creative formations, exotic looks, and a stronger run defense. That's the kind of impact that can change the narrative for a team struggling to find its identity. The right additions can reshape responsibilities, allow linebackers to perform better, and give the defensive coordinator the chance to prove that he can maximize talent when it's present. In short, Cowboys fans, the next few days are critical. The combination of returning players and potential trades could finally give the defense a chance to show what it can do. It's about removing excuses, testing schemes, and evaluating coaches fairly. It's about taking a team that's had injuries, inconsistent performances, and limited resources, and finally giving them a chance to demonstrate their real capabilities on the field. This is what separates speculation from actual progress, what distinguishes fan frustration from strategic optimism. The clock is ticking, the decisions are imminent, and the focus has to be on creating the conditions for success, not simply dwelling on what's gone wrong. This is the moment where smart moves, clear strategy, and a willingness to act can set the tone for the rest of the season. Whether it's a mid-season trade, the return of key injured players, or a calculated addition to the defensive line, these are the steps that will define the next chapter for America's team. It's about giving the coaches and players a real shot to perform, to see if the schemes hold up, and to understand whether the plan for the next few years is on track or in need of adjustment. Fans need to refocus on the game, the plays, and the talent, and recognize that the team's journey isn't defined solely by temporary setbacks, but by how they respond and adapt. The Cowboys have a window to make an impact, and that window is small. Decisions made in the next few days will echo through the remainder of the season. It's not about making the flashiest moves, it's about making the right moves, those that provide clarity, accountability, and opportunity for both players and coaches. The stakes are high, the potential is real, and the team has the pieces to start turning things around if they act decisively. Fans should watch closely, evaluate thoughtfully, and support intelligently, because the coming days could finally bring a narrative shift from frustration to hope, from potential squandered to potential realized. The spotlight is on the defensive line, on the coaching staff, and on the front office to show they can make decisions that matter. It's not about headlines, it's not about blame. It's about execution, depth, and preparation. America's team has the chance to transform what's been a rough stretch into a period of progress, and it starts with smart, targeted moves that make a difference on the field. That's the kind of football that fans should be analyzing, celebrating, and getting excited about as the season moves forward. All right, let's keep this rolling because there's a deeper layer to this whole situation that fans need to understand, and it goes beyond just trades and injured players returning. The narrative around the Cowboys often gets muddied by emotion, by impatience, and by the need to assign blame. But here's the thing. Being a fan doesn't mean obsessing over every comment from the front office or measuring loyalty by rings. It's about understanding the game, understanding the team, and having perspective on what really matters. The next few weeks could be pivotal for America's team, and how fans react, analyze, and interpret these moves is almost as important as the moves themselves. The reality is that when the team makes a smart acquisition, especially along the defensive line, it's not just about the name on the roster. It's about what that player allows the team to do schematically, how it shifts responsibilities, and how it allows coaches to maximize talent across the field. If a player like Quinnen Williams comes in, suddenly the defensive coordinator has options. He can experiment with alignments, create pressure from unexpected angles, and give the linebackers room to operate without being overextended. That's the kind of strategic advantage that isn't always obvious in the box score, but can completely change how a game is played and how a season unfolds. Fans often forget that football is chess, not checkers. Every addition, every return from injury, every adjustment on the defensive front is part of a larger plan that extends beyond 1 week, beyond one game, and even beyond one season. The Cowboys are working with a 4-year blueprint, and that plan doesn't pause for frustration or impatience. It's about building depth, testing schemes, and preparing for what comes next. A misstep now doesn't erase the plan, but a smart move could accelerate the evaluation process, remove excuses, and give a clearer picture of who is capable and who isn't in the current system. Right now, fans are caught in a cycle of criticism that often misses the nuance. They see struggles, they see losses, and the instinct is to blame visible targets, whether it's the coaching staff, a high-profile player, or the front office. But true evaluation requires removing emotion from the equation and focusing on tangible outcomes. What does this player bring? How does this addition impact the scheme? Can the coordinator finally implement the plan as intended? Those are the questions that matter. It's also time to address the obsession some fans have with ownership and headline making. The reality is, Jerry Jones has been a lightning rod for decades, and while some criticism is warranted, much of it is misdirected. Fans often conflate commentary on management decisions with personal loyalty to the owner, which is unnecessary. You can evaluate decisions objectively without turning it into a vendetta. The Cowboys are bigger than one man. The organization's identity isn't defined solely by ownership, and fan energy should be focused on what impacts the team directly: player performance, coaching schemes, and strategic acquisitions. Obsessing over headlines or statements that have little bearing on game day only distracts from what actually matters on the field. Every time a narrative spins out of control about the front office, it pulls attention away from what fans should be analyzing: the plays, the matchups, the talent, and the decisions that affect the outcome of games. Now, let's bring it back to the field. The defensive line is not just about stopping the run or pressuring the quarterback. It's about setting the tone for the entire defense. When that unit performs well, everything else flows. Linebackers can stay clean, coverage can improve, and the secondary isn't constantly under duress. Bringing in a player who can contribute immediately, whether through trade or signing, amplifies the effectiveness of everyone around him. This is why moves in the next few days are critical. It's about more than filling gaps. It's about creating an environment where the coaching staff can make real evaluations, where the defense can operate at full capacity, and where fans can finally see tangible progress. Excuses are eliminated, responsibility is clear, and accountability is placed squarely where it belongs: on execution. Fans also need to reconsider what it means to support the Cowboys. Loyalty isn't measured by winning every game or hoisting trophies. It's about understanding the process, staying engaged, and evaluating critically while remaining passionate about the team. Watching the Cowboys is about analyzing football, celebrating great plays, and staying invested through the ups and downs. It's about seeing strategy executed, understanding talent deployed correctly, and recognizing growth when it happens. It's not about taking every misstep personally or creating unnecessary drama. Real fans appreciate the intricacies of the game, and the narrative around trades, injuries, and coaching should be approached with that mindset. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. A storm may be brewing in Dallas, and the epicenter could be none other than the Cowboys' locker room. Sources close to the team are whispering about a bombshell statement made by quarterback Dak Prescott that has already sent shockwaves through the NFL rumor mill. If he comes back, I'm out of the Cowboys. While Prescott didn't name names publicly, insiders are speculating wildly about which former player could trigger such a dramatic ultimatum. The Cowboys have long been associated with high-stakes drama, both on and off the field, and this latest revelation seems to fit that pattern perfectly. Prescott, the face of the franchise since he was drafted, has always carried the weight of high expectations, leading the team to playoff appearances while battling injuries and organizational uncertainty. For him to issue such a stark warning suggests tensions behind the scenes are reaching a boiling point. Industry insiders are connecting the dots to a potential reunion of a superstar, a figure whose presence could redefine the locker room dynamics. The mere suggestion that Prescott might walk if a certain player returns raises questions about leadership, team chemistry, and the Cowboys' long-term strategy. Could this be about a former MVP-caliber player, a receiver with whom Prescott has had history, or perhaps even a running back whose past influence in Dallas looms large? The NFL gossip channels are buzzing with theories, and social media is ablaze with fans dissecting every word. While the Cowboys organization has not commented, the timing of Prescott's statement adds fuel to speculation. Analysts note that the franchise is entering a pivotal offseason, with roster decisions and draft picks that could shape the next several years. If Prescott is indeed willing to walk away under certain conditions, it might not only affect Dallas' plans, but also reverberate across the league, sparking trade rumors and shifting the balance in the NFC. For now, it remains a tantalizing what-if scenario, one that has Cowboys fans glued to every snippet of information. Whether this is a strategic bluff, an emotional reaction, or the opening salvo of a dramatic offseason saga, one thing is clear. The NFL world will be watching Dallas closely, because if Prescott follows through, the Cowboys as we know them could be in for a seismic shakeup. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.